that our deliberations today shall take place in the spirit of mutual trust, so that we as leaders shall lead our country on the path of peace and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Announcements. On Monday, the 10th of November 2025, I convened a consultative meeting with the chief whips of various political parties in consideration of the upcoming regional and local authorities elections, which is to take place on the 26th of November, which is in the public interest. The views of the majority of the chief whips were that this assembly adjourn for recess this Thursday, the 13th of November 2025, and resume again on the first Tuesday of February 2026 for the continuation of the third session. The early rising of the National Assembly is in due regard to the standing rules, orders, and internal arrangements of the Assembly, in particular Rules 5, Sessional Orders, 8, Circumstances not provided for, and 12, Annual Sessions. I am now requesting the consensus of the honorable members of the Assembly that we adjourn tomorrow until next year, February 2026. Can it be so agreed?
If we are to divide the House, maybe we can propose this to him.
Yes, thank you. I give the floor to Honorable Mouton.
We as IPC do not support the early recess. Firstly, because we are elected to Parliament to fulfill our legislative duties and to keep government to account. And secondly, early recess is a violation of the standing rules and orders. And as a party rooted in the rule of law, we cannot support this. I turn this House attention to Rule 12.3. The second session commences on the first Tuesday of September and terminates on the last Thursday of November. So it's quite clear what the terms for the sitting is stated. Then further on, it says the Speaker may authorize the extension of any session of the Assembly on the grounds of public interest or convenience. So Sub-Rule 5 says that. It says extend, not reduce. There's a clear omission, and reducing the session is not in the public interest. Okay, so this is not the first year that we are having elections. And Honourable Speaker, am I protected? Can I speak?
Yes, Honourable Member, can you round up, please? Proceed.
Yes, okay. This is not the first year we're having elections take place. So if the intention of the rule makers was to allow for reduction, why is it not included in the rules with the latest amendments? Furthermore, the practice of past early recess to accommodate election campaigns does not apply because it was unlawful and because Rule 2.2 prohibits this. I will read Rule 2.2. No convention or practice may limit or impede any provision of these standing rules. Rule 2.2 also overrules Rule 8.2, which allow for circumstances not provided for, since this is not the convention. I take your attention to Rule 5, which the Minister stated, or the Speaker. Rule 5 does not empower the House to use sessional orders to terminate a session. It states the following: the House may regard matters not provided for in these standing rules at any time during a session, adopt sessional orders that will have effect for the duration of the session, unless a lesser or longer period is specified. It specifically refers to operational orders during the duration of the session, therefore cannot reduce the duration. It is paradoxical, as the moment the session ends, the order ends. And if it can be extended, it only applies to active sessions. With that being said, the proper procedure to go on early recess would be to suspend Standing Rule 12 as provided for in Rule 10, 1 and 2. Just follow the rules. Suspension or supplementation of standing rules and sessional orders. The House may, by a motion carried by the majority, 75% of all voting members of the Assembly, suspend or dispense with the standing rule and sessional order. Suspension of a standing rule or sessional order is a procedure that the Assembly may use to pass a non-controversial bill or to consider an urgent matter of national importance. Honourable Speaker, political expedience is not a matter of national importance. We therefore cannot support this. Thank you.
Okay, Honourable. Yes, Honourable Mouton. Yeah, may I please have your attention? Honourable members, may I please have your attention? The Honourable member made reference to very important issues, and I think it is important that the record is set straight in regard to what the Honourable member said. First and foremost, I want to refer to Rule 12, yeah, that talks about the sessions. Now, Rule 12 under 12 sub 5 says the Speaker may authorize the extension of any session, but the rule does not provide for the reduction of the period. And therefore, that kicks in Rule 8 sub 1. Because that is an issue where a statute, these standing rules, a sessional order or convention or practice do not provide for the matter. The Speaker or the chairperson of the whole House may issue a ruling to determine. So that is the first one. Secondly, elections are an important aspect of our democracy. And these elections that we are having, they are not national elections. They are not presidential elections. They are regional councils and local authorities elections. So it means every member must be in the local authority where they are registered and in a regional region where they are registered in a constituency. So it is impossible for us to meet on the 25th and still have members voting on the 26th in their constituencies and local authorities. So it is not a convenience, it's in the public interest. It's upholding our democracy. Yeah, so, and the honorable member, before you do that, no, honorable members, no, honorable member, let me finish. Ne? Having said that, I just want to ask one question to Honorable Mouton. Are you, honorable member, asking for us to vote on the matter? Because we will not debate it. We will not debate it. Is the IPC objecting and is calling for the division of the House? Or the IPC is simply just putting its dissent on record, but it's not asking for a vote? That's the only thing that I would want to hear the honorable, from the honorable member on.
Yes, Honourable Speaker, we are objecting, but I do want to take you to Rule 8. No, you are misrepresenting the rules, Honourable Speaker. Rule 8 says, okay, Speaker, tell me which Commonwealth rule allows for the Speaker to make a ruling on this.
No, honourable member.
It says, where the rules don't apply, use Commonwealth. So which Commonwealth country allowed the Speaker to make this ruling?
Honorable member, you don't have the floor to say what you said. I am saying to the honorable member, we have an extensive discussion on this issue at the meeting of the chief whips, and the honorable member indicated his party's dissent, your disagreement with the matter. And they were, when did we meet? It was, I think, on Monday. So, and at that meeting I indicated, I understand that you are representing a party and you may need to go back to the party that mandated you to indicate what the position of the majority is and get a mandate. So I take it that after you have explained to your party maintained its position, that it's not in support of this. Now, having said that, I just want to get from the honorable member, are you objecting so that we divide the House? Because we are not going to have a discussion. Or are you just putting this on record? Okay. So, yes, Honorable Hengari.
Yes, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to understand if they were to object, because this is not a proposal. It's an announcement made by the Speaker. So I really don't understand where, I have not heard a proposal being made on the floor or a motion being discussed on the floor. So I don't think that it's appropriate to then call for an objection. Thank you.
Yes, honorable members, honorable members, I think that's an important point that is made. So, and I believe that the point that I have made also to say that we are expected to be in our constituencies and we are expected to be in our respective towns to vote. It indicates that it's impossible for us to follow this session because even the rules are saying where the rules are in conflict with the law or with the constitution or any law, then that law or constitution would prevail. And the rules are also saying on a public holiday, there is no sitting of the assembly. But these rules are saying on that day we are supposed to have a sitting. So I think there are just so many aspects that make it necessary that we should recognize the importance of the elections and allow the members to participate in that. So I would go with the views of the majority as indicated in the consultations that the House would rise on the 13th of November and we will come back on the first week of February. So agreed? Huh? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, any messages from the head of state? Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Notices of questions? Honorable Ricardo Roderick.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 20th of November 2025, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism the following questions.
He must come back.
Honorable Speaker, illegal and unregulated sand mining continues to threaten our environment and communities across several regions. Despite the provisions of the Environmental Management Act of 2007 and the Environmental Assessment Policy of 1995, many operators extract sand without environmental clearance certificate, leaving behind degraded land, damaged roads, and disturbed ecosystem. Reports further indicate the involvement of certain local leaders in unapproved sand mining activities, raising concerns about weak enforcement, poor coordination, and accountability gaps within environmental governance.
Elder Felipe.
It is therefore necessary that this House seeks clarification from the Honorable Minister on the effectiveness of existing policies and the steps being taken to address this growing challenge. I therefore ask, Honorable Minister, what specific measures is the Ministry taking to enforce the provisions of the Environmental Management Act of 2007 in relation to illegal sand mining across the country, particularly in communal areas? How many environmental clearance certificates have been issued for sand mining activities in the past 3 years? And in which regions? Can the minister provide data on how many operators are currently under investigation or have been penalized for non-compliance? What formal guidelines exist to regulate the involvement of traditional authorities and local councillors in the approval or facilitation of sand mining activities within their jurisdictions? How many sand mining sites have been rehabilitated in accordance with the Environmental Management Act, and what penalties exist for operators who fail to restore mined areas? Given the growing demand for construction materials, is the ministry reviewing or updating the current sand mining policy framework to ensure a balance between local economic development and environmental sustainability? What public education or awareness campaigns has the ministry undertaken to inform communities, local authorities, and political office bearers about the legal implications of unlicensed sand mining? Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Now, Honorable Member, note being taken of the fact that we have agreed to rise on the 13th of November and return only early February. It is taken that that question that we have posed is to be answered only when we come back from recess. Yeah, please amend it accordingly and you may table it.
It's okay, James, it's okay.
And the teachers and the principals that are not ignorant. We are saying you must release my teachers who are voting their.
Yes, the Honorable Member may table, please.
Release the teachers who are voting their.
Yes, Honorable, I thought I saw Honorable Rukato.
Honorable Speaker.
Please, Honorable Members.
Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, and the leaders of various political parties. Good day, good day. I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, 11 February 2026, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Environment and Forest and Tourism, Honorable Indileni Daniel, the following questions. Honorable Minister, how many conservancies were established before and after independence? Number two, how many parks were established before and after independence? Number three, how many lodges and campsites were established before and after independence? And the last, how many are owned by foreigners and how many are owned by Namibians people? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Member may please table the question. Mr. Nihoya. I recognize Honorable Tuhezi.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 12th of February 2026, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Finance and Social Grants, Honorable Erika Shafuda, the following. Whatever you call it. Honorable Speaker, it is with...
Okay. So Honorable Member, the correct name of the ministry is the Ministry of Finance. I think it's because of the transfer of the social grant that made a number of MPs believe that the title of the ministry has changed. So, to my understanding, the name is Ministry of Finance.
And my time, Speaker?
Yeah, yes, I will give you the 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Speaker, it is with deep sadness that I draw the attention of this House to the reported tragic passing of an elderly woman who collapsed and died yesterday at a NAMPOST outlet in Rundu while waiting in a long queue to receive a social grant. A similar incident occurred just last month in Kongola, where another elderly woman collapsed under comparable conditions. These painful incidences appear to be on the rise, and they raise a serious concern about the conditions under which our senior citizens, the sickly, and persons with disabilities are made to wait long hours in the heat, often without adequate shade, drinking water, toilets, or sitting. Honorable Minister, I therefore ask whether NAMPOST was thoroughly assessed and found suitable prepared before being awarded the contract to handle social grant payments on behalf of the government. 2, whether the ministry is aware that many NAMPOST outlets across the country lack basic facilities such as toilets, safe drinking water, and proper waiting areas, leaving our elderly and vulnerable citizens exposed to hardship and indigeneity. 3, whether the ministry is actively monitoring and evaluating NAMPOST's performance in delivering this important public service, and what findings have been made so far. 4, what immediate steps is the ministry intend to take to ensure that such distressing incidents do not happen again, and that all beneficiaries are treated with the care, dignity, and compassion they deserve? And lastly, whether NAMPOST will be held accountable for such incidents, and what form of accountability will be taken to ensure the safety and well-being of beneficiaries are not compromised in the future. I so submit.
Yes. The Honourable Member may table the question, please.
Yeah, that's my niece.
Yes. Honourable Mbundu.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Member, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 6th of February 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Finance, Honourable Eric Ashafuta, the following. We have been hearing sad stories from the Government Institution Pension Fund, GIPF, for many years now, and it seems they simply do not end. This time is not ordinary pensioner crying for, but former members of the 7th Parliament, individuals who served this nation with dignity and who today find themselves victims of what can only be described as a financial miscarriage. It appears that JPF has subjected these former MPs to tax questionable to deduction from their back-paid pension payment, even though their annual income clearly falls below the 100,000 tax threshold set by NAMRA. This raises a serious concern about whether JPF and the Ministry of Finance are correctly complying with the country tax law for pension-related payouts. Against this background, I write to ask the Honourable Minister of Finance the following question. Question number 1. Can the Minister confirm whether individuals earning less than 100,000 per year are legally required to pay income tax on backdate pension payments? Question number 2. If the law exempts such individuals, why did the JPF deduct tax from their backpaid pension? Question number 3. Were this deduction authorized by NAMRA or unilaterally done by JPF? Question number 4. What mechanisms exist within the ministry to ensure that institutions such as JPF correctly apply the tax threshold, especially in this case involving back pay of arrears? Question number 5, when can this affected former member of the Senate Parliament expect to be refunded their money that was wrongly deducted from their back date pension? Lastly, will the ministry institute to review all similar deduction to safeguard both former public office bearer and ordinary pensioner from the financial injustice in the future? I so submit.
Yes, the honourable member can please table the question. Honourable Brinkman.
Yeah, Coco.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Quiet, please. She's speaking now.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 12th of February 2026, I shall ask the Honourable Minister of Health and Social Services, Honourable Luvindau, the following. Honourable Speaker, I rise to bring to the attention of this House a deeply distressing incident that took place on the 27th October 2025 at the public hospital in Ludritz, involving the death of a woman and her newborn child. The woman was initially sent home. Despite showing signs of labor, she was later admitted and reportedly endured 3 days of neglect without proper monitoring or medical intervention. The baby was delivered but later died. Under unclear circumstances, after being transferred to Keetmanshoop Hospital without the family's knowledge. These events raise serious concerns about the quality of maternal care, communication protocols, and accountability within our public health system. I therefore pose the following questions. What investigations have been launched into the deaths of the mother and the child? What support services are available for the bereaved family in such cases? What disciplinary measures are taken when medical negligence is suspected? What ethical guidelines govern communication between medical staff and families? What steps are being taken to improve emergency response in maternity care? Lastly, will the ministry consider an independent inquiry into this incident? So I submit.
Honorable Achipara.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, yeah, I rise to give notice that on Thursday, the 5th February 2026, I shall ask the... Yes, shoot. Yeah, I'll ask the Honorable Minister of Education the following questions. Honorable Minister, the Swedish International Development Agency, SIDA, through the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Lund University in Sweden, sponsored 32 Namibian educators exchange agents who underwent a 2-year advanced training program from 2003 up to 2016. These 32 change agents developed and implemented a unique on-the-job training program initiative called Namibia Child Rights Classroom and School Management Training Program in 2016 that was supposed to be rolled out in 2017-2018 financial year in all 14 regions. This program is anchored on the 3 child rights, which is protection, provision, and the participation of the Namibian child. Was that 3? No. My minutes are always not done properly. Truly speaking, my minutes are, even yesterday.
Speak.
Finish, Matate. Yeah, Honorable Minister. Okay, fine. Honorable Minister, the ministry invested a substantial amount of resources piloting the implementation of this program in 9 child rights project schools and in 6 regions. That is Kavango East, Kavango West, Comas, Ohangwena, Oshana, Omsati, which have proven the program to be a success in child-centered education. Despite these overwhelming success stories in both classroom and school management and learners' academic performance, as well as a well-developed on-the-job training program, Honorable Minister, this training program was not implemented as planned, and as a result, the Namibian child and the education system in general suffered as beneficiaries. I therefore ask the following question, Honorable Minister. Is the ministry aware of the discontinued or non-implementation of the child rights classroom school management training program and its potential to positively impact the education performance in Namibia? Can the ministry shed light as to why the program did not take off the ground? And last, as a proven best practice and a success story in Namibia in school, what measures will the ministry put in place to kickstart this crucial training program in 2026-2017 financial year to benefit the Namibian child? I so submit.
Silence, silence.
No, Honorable Bishop, you are not the one to tell the honorable members to table the items that they are moving. Yeah. Very good, thank you. Yeah. Now, the Honorable Kandarodu, you have the floor, Honorable Kandarodu.
Oral agent, life and death.
That is yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oral agent to the Minister of Finance. Since independence, GIPF lost 650, 815 million, and now 45 million. But the CEO of GIPF is celebrating. He's saying, no, it's fine, those are small things, people must not worry. The government on the other side is quiet. What is your position with regard to the loss of these millions? And also, can you forecast how many more millions are we going to lose into the near future? I so submit. Oral.
Honorable member, I gave you the floor. Ne? The rules are saying after the notified questions have been dealt with, then the presiding officer may allow agent oral questions. Now there are 2 more people on the list.
Oral also?
No, we have to find out whether their questions are oral or not. Yeah, so that one is set aside, Honorable Member.
Okay, I can come back.
Yes. Honorable April, we have to hear from Honorable. Okay, Honorable Karonda. If it's oral agent, those questions of oral agents, because of the fact that we are going to rise tomorrow, Honorable Members, I already announced yesterday that we are not going to consider agent oral questions because we have to make an effort to deal with the issues that are on the agenda. Okay? So Honorable Members, yeah. No, Honorable Members, let's discuss those issues over a cup of tea with the Honorable members. Now, notices of motions. Okay, very good. Ministerial statements? Notice of motion, Honorable Lucato. Huh? Yeah, notice of a motion. Yes, if you are moving a bill. But now, what is it, an urgent bill or what type of bill? Because in terms of the rules, Rule 193, a notice to table a bill can only be introduced after the 1st of November if it is an urgent bill. So is that an urgent bill, Honorable Member, because we are rising tomorrow? Yeah. So if the Honorable Member agrees that the bill doesn't need to be discussed exhaustively now before we rise, can I advise the Honorable Member to just move that bill when we return from recess? Because this is what the rules are saying. Under 193 is only urgent bills. Yeah, you see, you move to table a bill. Yeah. So is that a notice of tabling of a bill, or is it a notice of tabling of a motion or for discussion? Yeah. Okay. No, not a bill. Okay. Okay, so let's hear that one, Honorable Lucato.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the platform. I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, 11 February 2026, I shall move that this August House discuss and agree.
On which day, Honorable Member?
11 February 2026,
okay.
Yes, Speaker. To agree according to Rule 1971, 234A, and of the Parliamentary Standing Committee under the procedure for the private members' bill. This motion, it will be a compulsory national service in the Namibian Defense Force. So the NDF continues to face challenge of manpower and the operational capacity, while thousands of capable young graduates remain unemployed. To address both issues, this motion proposed that the Defense Act be amended to provide for a permanent standby unit employing graduates from universities and all those tertiary institutions for a period of 5 to 10 years. During their service, these graduates will receive military and civic training, contributing to national development projects and public service programs. Upon completion, they will return to their professional institution or with a discipline and practical experience. This proposal seeks to correct, silence please. This proposal, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, seek to correct the historical imbalances in national services participation, which under the Defense Act 44 of 1957 excluded the majority of Namibians. The national service unity will promote inclusion, unity, and the youth empowerment, while strengthening the defense force with skilled personnel. It will further reduce graduate unemployment cultivating civic responsibility and enhance national capacity building. The success of this initiative will depend on proper planning, sufficient funding, and a strong political will. It will transform the Defense Force into a duly purpose institution of national security and also empowerment. By adopting this motion, Namibia will not only build a stronger defense force, but also a generation of disciplined, skilled, and also to empower all Namibians, those should not find themselves in the street. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Emmanuel, I see your ministerial statements. Oh, okay. So I see Honorable Hengari. Is it a notice of a motion?
No, I'm preparing to respond to the ministerial statements. Thank you.
Okay. So Honorable Minister of Finance, is it a ministerial statement also? Is it a ministerial statement, Honorable Minister?
Honorable Speaker, I rise on point of privilege.
I see.
Privilege, Rule 83, 1D. Honorable Speaker, I want to be assisted to understand when a member has said something that is unfounded, unfactual, and so forth. And specifically, I want to address the member who had seen the CEO of GIPF celebrating, whether that was in a movie that was not accessible to everyone, or can he really substantiate where he saw the CEO of GIPF apparently celebrating because he lost the money. Which money was lost? I so submit.
Yeah, honorable member, which member is that one that said that? Honorable Kanterobu, in the question that was not admitted. Yeah, in the question was not admitted, we are assisted, so it means that the question is not going to be recorded. It's not going to be recorded, but I think the principle is agreed with. That honorable members, let's comply with the rules. Now, we go to ministerial statements. Honorable Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on the strength of Rule 136, Sub-Rule 1 of our Standing Rules, Order and Internal Arrangement Protocols. To inform this august House about the adoptions of several important international labor organizations instruments by the International Labour Conference during its recently concluded session. And these instruments are Convention number 192 on the preventions and protections against biological hazards, adopted at the 112th sessions of ILC, recommendation number 209 on the preventions and protections against biological hazards, adopted at the same sessions as cited above, Convention number 191 on safe and healthy working environment, the consequential amendment thereof, adopted the 111th sessions of ILC, recommendation number 207 on safe and healthy working environments, adopted, at the 111th session. Recommendation number 208 on quality apprenticeship, adopted at the 111th sessions of ILC, as well as recommendation number 206 on violence and harassment at work, adopted at the 108th sessions of ILC. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of this August House, the Republic of Namibia is a member state of ILO, as it is for any other member state, has a constitutional obligations under Article 19, Sub-Article 6B of the ILO Constitution to submit all the newly adopted international labor standards, be they convention, recommendations, or protocol, to the competent authority. And in our case, that competent authority is this August House. The process we are currently engaging in, Honorable Speaker, ensure that competent authority examines the adopted instrument in order to inform the nation's choice of the next course of action, including possible enactment, ratification, or any other befitting action. The process is not merely an administrative exercise, but a discharge of a due diligence in affirming the country's commitment to upholding international standards that seek to protect dignity, safety, and rights of every worker in Namibia. With this said, allow me now, Honorable Speaker, yet crisply to outline the objectives and the significance of each instrument as follows. Convention number 192 and its accompanying recommendations number 209 on the preventions and protections against biological hazards represents the first ever global standard on the safeguarding workers from biological risk in the workplace. The instruments are timely and forward-looking, as the COVID pandemic reminded us of the importance of strong workplace health system to protect both workers and the enterprises. Convention number 192 and its complementary recommendations, and this one, Honorable Karonda is quite conversant with it, on the safe and healthy working environment and its consequential amendment, arise from the historical decision by the International Labour Conference in 2022 to recognize a safe and healthy working environment as a fundamental principle and right at work, on par with freedom of association and the elimination of forced and child labor. This instrument ensures that occupational safety is not just an aspiration, but a fundamental obligation for all nations and employers, and must be lived in all workplaces. Recommendations number 208 on quality apprenticeship provide much needed guidance to member states in creating inclusive, modern apprenticeship systems that equip people, particularly young ones and women, with skill to participate productively in the dynamic labor markets. Further, it promotes lifelong learning, reskilling, and upskilling in ensuring that no workers is left behind in the process of transitioning to future jobs. Recommendation number 206 on violence and harassment at workplace is collateral to the Convention number 190, which Namibia ratified in December 2019. Unfortunately, this recommendation was not brought to Parliament at the time of the ratifications of its foundational convention. It is belatedly, being tabled today to correct both the administrative and the legislative oversight that prevailed then, reaffirming our government's firm stance against violence, abuse, or harassment of workers in the workplaces. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, for avoidance of any doubt, of the 6 instruments tabled today, 4 are recommendations serving as non-binding guidelines in the mapping of national policy direction. While they are not subject to ratification, our Constitution encourages that their provision be implemented out of practicality and possibility. The remaining 2 instruments, namely Convention number 191 as well as 192, as Honorable Ina Engari prepared for her question, are open and candidate for ratification. In this pursuit, my ministry will undertake a thorough assessment of Namibia's readiness to ratify these conventions, ensuring that any commitment we make are realistic, implementable, and aligned to our national interest and collective aspiration. In accordance with Article 19, Subarticle 6C of the ILO Constitution, Namibia is required to inform the Director General of ILO of the measure taken or to be undertaken pursuant to this tabling process. In this premise, Honorable Speaker, I graciously and humbly recommend that this August House take note of these 6 instruments adopted by ILO. Cabinet has already taken note of same, and through the text of its decision of the 23rd of September or 30th of September, decision number 23rd stroke 09.09.35/004 authorized me as the portfolio minister to present the same to the National Assembly for legislative noting. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, as a nation founded on justice, dignity, and equality, Namibia continued engagement with international labor standards strengthens not only our laws, but also our people. Each of these instruments, in its own way, effectively advances the cause of decent work agenda, safe workplace, and fair opportunities for all. I therefore unreservedly recommend that the National Assembly formally note these 6 instruments and reaffirm Namibia's steadfast commitment to upholding international labor standards for the benefits of our workers, our employers, and our nation as a whole. I thank you as I pose, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Now, it is break time, and the House will now rise for 20 minutes. Very good. When we went for the break, we just heard a statement from the Honorable Minister of Justice, and the next person on the agenda is Honorable Hengari.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I think the Minister has just brought the statement for note-taking, so we take note. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now I recognize Honorable Kapofi.
Honorable Speaker, I rise as per Rule 1932, 1932, to ask that I be allowed to introduce an urgent bill in terms of that rule. Honorable Speaker. 1932. Yes.
Honorable members, can we hear what the Honorable member has to say?
Am I allowed, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, you are allowed, Honorable member. Let's hear him out. Let's hear what he's going to say. Now we don't know what he's going to say. No, let's hear what he's. We don't know what he's going to say.
Can I be allowed now to go ahead? Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I rise, as I said, in terms of Rule 1932, to table before this Honorable House an urgent bill on the Petroleum Exploration and Production Amendment Bill
Let's hear what he has to
2025
say. No, wait.
for consideration by this August House. This bill, Honorable Speaker, is of strategic importance to the management and governance of Namibia's petroleum resources. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Namibia stands at a...
Yes, honorable member. Yes, Honorable Kapofi can take his seat for a short while, but I still maintain that I am constrained as a presiding officer to make a ruling if I don't have an opportunity to hear what a member is trying to say. You know, but you can go ahead.
Yes.
Otherwise, I will eventually have to make a ruling.
No problem. Now, I of course, this is with due respect to Honorable Kapofi as a senior member of this House.
At least.
Yesterday, the Honorable Kapofi actually came to the House and tabled a notice of a motion that leave be given to introduce a bill. This is here. It's under notices of motions. If you actually just open your blue pages. So I want to understand now the order of things. We are going through, and I don't think the Speaker is actually even called for orders of the day. We're dealing with ministerial statements, and there's an order that is printed for every single member of this House that is followed every single day. So I want to understand how item number, let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Item number 15 is now item number 1. Even mental health is... Can't be, Honorable Speaker, really. We are actually supposed, we are even prepared to come and contribute to the committee stage of the mental health bill. But now we are dealing with the motivation of a motion for whose notice was given only yesterday. And we're not following the order of the day as has been the precedence of this House. So, Speaker, really, I don't think there's any other thing to hear. We already know what that notice is about, and I don't think it will be procedural to allow for the Minister to continue without motivation.
Yes, Honorable Member, I take it that I have indicated that I would have preferred to hear what Honorable Kapofi is saying. To be able to say, no, I cannot entertain what the Honorable Member is saying, or yes, I think this is something to consider. So the Honorable Member is referring to an issue that is very important, which is the petroleum, and given the circumstance, the current circumstance, where there has been institutional, adjustments, and the members of Parliament have requested the President to address the legal issues related to that reorganization. And the Honorable Member was going to say something. I don't think it optimizes the public interest for us to allow ourselves to be constrained by procedural matters and leave this matter without hearing what it's about at all. Because if we hear from the member, we still have an opportunity to say, no, we don't agree to pass the bill. But to just say we don't hear anything that he has to say, I think it does create a problem. Honorable members, just one moment. Ne? Yeah, no. Now, yeah. Yeah, I know the order paper, Honorable Member. The order paper, Honorable Member, Rule 119. Yeah, Sub 1 says the Secretary, in consultation with the Speaker, may arrange proceedings on the order paper in whatever order the Secretary deems fit. No, but it doesn't say they are restricted at this point. So it means at any point the order paper can be reviewed. But the MPs, the members in their majority, based on a quorum, can decide whether to approve an issue that is brought before the House or not. Honorable Member. Okay, read the rule, Honorable Member.
Let me continue. Thank you, Speaker. If you go to Rule 119, Sub-Rule 3, an urgent motion directly concerning the privileges of the Assembly will take precedence above other motions and also above orders of the day and may be considered without previous notice. Yes. So this has nothing to do with this rule. Absolutely none.
Which one?
The only other time when we are allowed to even skip the order of this paper is based on the sub-rule 3 of 119. Speaker, I don't know why, Honorable Speaker, you are trying to bulldoze something that we are all willing and open to discuss and listen to. All we are saying is there is an order paper that the table office has prepared. Let's follow the order paper as per usual. There is in fact, ordinarily the mental health bill would take precedence, would take priority because it is already at the committee stage. Not a bill that is now being introduced, Honorable Speaker. And that's as per practice of this House and procedures of this House. So really, Honorable Speaker, I don't know why it's necessary for us to bulldoze. There's a Public Enterprises Governance Amendment Bill. There's a land bill. All these are important bills. So really, Honorable Speaker, why is it that there is so much interest in bulldozing this item number 15 and bringing it? In fact, the Speaker has not even read and said, orders of the day, nothing. We don't even know where we are. We are just being told the minister must start.
That is why yes, may you take your seat now? Yeah, Honorable Member, exactly, we have not gotten to the point where we say the order of the day, so we cannot say that the order of the day cannot be rearranged in a way as per Rule 119 that we have talked about. Maybe what I would like to suggest, Honorable Member, because I still want us to distinguish between hearing what the Honorable Member is requesting for and granting what the Honorable Member is asking for. What the Honorable Member is telling us to do is to not hear him out at all. And I have difficulties with that because he has not finished what he was saying. So I would be more amenable if the Honorable Members, having heard what the Minister has to say, would say, we have heard, I have not heard, then I have a right like everyone else. I want to hear what the Minister has to say. No, now I have given you the floor 3 times, Honorable Member. No, you are not helping me, you are just ruling. Now there are 2 people.
Can I have a mic? The way it reads, basically it says, Honorable Kapofi, the Dual Minister of Defense and Mines, was supposed to come behind closed door and make an arrangement with the secretary for the order paper to be adjusted according to his will. That's what one is saying. It doesn't say he must come into the chamber and then decide he must be given privilege over the other order papers that is in existence. We have mental health bill. We have staff members from the ministry that are here. We cannot deprive them to listen to the contribution from the House over a gate-crashing motion from the Honorable Minister.
Okay,
it's
Honorable,
completely not fair.
Yes. You are out of order. Because there is no gate crashing by the Honorable Member. What we are doing here is trying to present the order paper as having been composed by the Secretary, having considered all the requests for items to be on the agenda paper, including after the printing was done. So there is no rule that says once the printing is done, then that right to arrange the order paper is no longer there. So what I wanted to suggest, Honorable Members, what I wanted to suggest is to say, since we had just concluded ministerial statements, we would have reports from committees of the whole assembly, and then we start with the order paper, where we will hear what the Honorable Kapofi was trying to say. And Honorable Members, can I hear you now? I have also listened to you. We will then hear what Honorable Kapofi has to say. And then we can decide, having heard what he said, that no, if you are asking for agency, where is the agency? And then we can take a decision, yes or no. But to just say we don't hear anything that he is going to say, it presents immense difficulties for the presiding officer. Okay. Yeah. So now we will finish with the routine of business. Yeah, because that aspect is about the order of the day. Yeah, Honorable, but you can't make a point of order when the speaker is speaking. But maybe a point. No, usually you allow the presiding officer to finish, and then you can ask for point of privilege or something. But I give you the point of privilege. Yes.
Let me try, because the gist of what Comrade Kapofi wants to introduce, I think we have that. And it speaks directly to what is contained in the order paper. Now, in terms of 119.3, unless there's anything else that speaks or conforms to 119.3, we would then agree that at that time, when the Speaker so decides, Comrade Kapofi can be given the floor to introduce his motion or to dispense with it. The problem, however, Speaker, is that what is contained in the blue paper and what the gist is are not only identical, it is the very same thing. That means even when we revert back to the order paper of the day and sound as if there was some consultation between the Secretary and the Speaker, the very need of Comrade Kapofi to present his motion falls redundant. It just does not feature. It can't. So I think we should just proceed with business as we would have.
Honorable members, I want to propose that let's dispose of the routine order of the day and let us go to the, yes, because we are at the end, we were at ministerial statement, now we are left only with reports from the committee. Ne? And then when we come to the order of the day, because this is an issue about 193 about the agency. Eh? Yeah, that's now when, then you can pose that question, Honorable Kandorobi. Then you can pose that question, Honorable. All of you honorable members that have those questions can then ask that question, those questions. But now, Honorable Sister, you are presenting me with a very difficult situation because you want now to debate the ruling and agree with the ruling. Now, if we have to agree or not agree with the ruling, do we sustain that or it is only an arrangement for today? Yes, point of privilege.
Speaker, it's important for you as a presiding officer to note that you cannot make a ruling when there is no proposal on the floor.
Because you are interrupting the member.
No,
that's the
member,
I want to hear the member. You don't want me to hear the member.
Speaker, let's be honest. The Honorable Senior Minister was actually motivating the bill whose notice he gave yesterday. That is why it appears here. So that failure is not on us as members, and it can't be said that we are unwilling to hear the minister out. That failure falls entirely and squarely on the shoulders of the desk office, not us. Because how is it that, Honorable Speaker, really, in all honesty, can I stand here as a member of Parliament and say, Honorable Speaker, I seek the indulgence of the House so that we can move to item number 5, while we have an order of the day.
Yeah,
it can't be, Honorable Speaker, really.
Yes. Okay, Honorable Member, you can do that, but you can be ruled out of order by the presiding officer. The difficulty that I have with your proposal is you are denying the presiding officer the right to make a ruling.
On what?
Actually, you go on and say there is nothing for me to make a ruling on.
Yes.
If I don't make a ruling, we cannot proceed with the
we are supposed to follow the order.
I must make a ruling somehow. But you are saying I must rule a certain way. It is only that way or no way at all. That's where the difficulty is.
So, Speaker, are you saying we are starting with item number 15?
No, I am saying that we should, I'm saying let's finish the routine of the business, you know, because I have noted that point that was raised. Yeah, and then when the honorable member requests now for that bill to be considered on agency, as a matter of presenting the order paper in that revised way, we can discuss that aspect. And say, we don't see the agency, as I heard one honorable member saying there. Then you will say why it is urgent, and then we will come to the conclusion. No, let's hope we don't get there. Let's hope that we will agree. Yes. Honorable members, now we are back now to routine of the day. Reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings, any? And then we now go to the orders of the day. And I think at the orders of the day there, that is where now we are informed that on the basis of 193, Rule 193, Honorable Kapofi wanted to make that request to the House. And I want us to hear what the request is that the Honorable Member is making.
Thank you very much. I would like to, I appreciate the the concerns of everyone, and I seek your understanding as I proceed with the motivation of this bill. I thank you very much. Yes, I have it. I can see there's overwhelming support. Therefore, Comrade Speaker, as I said, Namibia stands at a transformative moment in its economic and energy journey. The recent world-class oil discovery in our offshore basins have positioned our country as an emerging energy hub on the African continent. This moment calls for a robust, modern, and transparent legal framework that can guide our upstream petroleum sector responsibly and efficiently. The bill before you seeks to modernize and strengthen the existing Petroleum Act of 1991. Its primary objective is to enhance institutional capacity, ensure regulatory clarity, and align our governance structure with international best practices. While maintaining full accountability to Parliament and the Namibian people. In this regard, Honorable Speaker, the bill seeks to, 1, establishment of the Upstream Petroleum Unit. The amendment establishes the Upstream Petroleum Unit, a new regulatory authority to be housed in the Office of the President. This unit will be headed by a Director General and a Deputy Director General who will be responsible for directing, managing, and supervising all upstream petroleum operations in Namibia. This reform ensures that our technical, regulatory, and compliance functions are brought under a single professional institution, one that is capable of responding to the demands of a fast-growing petroleum industry with efficiency and expertise. 2, streamlined technical oversight and regulatory clarity. Under this new framework, the Director General becomes the principal regulator responsible for licensing, compliance, and oversight of petroleum activities, while the Deputy Director General manages the daily technical functions, supervises staff and inspectors, and ensures that operations conform to national standards and international norms. This structure establishes clear lines of authority, improves coordination, and enables faster, evidence-based decision-making in technical matters. Number 3, transparency and parliamentary reporting. The bill introduces new measures to strengthen fiscal transparency and accountability. It requires that all remissions, deferrals, or refunds of petroleum royalties be reported annually to the National Assembly by 30th June, though through a designated minister or the Prime Minister. This provision ensures that Parliament remains fully informed about the management of petroleum revenues and that the executive branch remains accountable for every concession granted under the law. Number 4, ethical conduct and disclosures of interest. The bill also reinforces ethical governance. It expands the conflict of interest provision to cover inspectors and staff of the upstream petroleum unit with strict penalties for breaches. Furthermore, senior officials, including the Director General and Deputy Director General, are required to disclose their assets and interests to the President to safeguard the integrity of public office. These measures strengthen public confidence and uphold the principle of integrity and transparency in our petroleum administration. 5, modernization of the legal framework. This amendment updates the 1991 Act to reflect contemporary realities. It replaces outdated terminology, repeals the former role of the Commissioner for Petroleum Affairs, and transfers the relevant powers and functions to the new upstream petroleum unit. It also enhances coordination between the Presidency, the Ministry of Finance, and other relevant portfolios, ensuring that physical, environmental, and technical aspects of petrol management are aligned under one coherent government structure. 6, transitional and continuity provision. The bill provides that all existing licenses, agreements, and approvals remain valid under the new structure. Ongoing application will continue seamlessly under the authority of the upstream petroleum unit. The guarantees regulatory continuity, protects investor confidence, and ensure a smooth transition from the old system to the new ones. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Petroleum Amendment Bill 2025 represents a divisive move towards a more effective, transparent, and accountable management of Namibia's petroleum sector. It empowers the state to better oversee exploration and production activities. It ensures that decisions are made with technical competencies, and it guarantees that Parliament continues to play its rightful oversight role. Through this reform, Namibia will strengthen its position as a credible and competitive petroleum jurisdiction, one that attracts responsible investment, safeguards environmental standards, and ensures the maximum benefit of our citizens. Honorable Speaker, this bill is forward-looking. It reflects the maturity of our governance institutions and our readiness to responsibly manage the opportunity that petroleum development brings. It aligns our national legislation with the imperative of transparency, efficiency, and good governance. I therefore commend the Petroleum Exploration and Production Amendment Bill B-12/2025 to this Honourable House for consideration, debate, and adoption. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Now, I can see that the bill definitely is an important one, and we can then hear, the Minister has put forward his motivation, why he feels that that bill, thank you, Honourable Kapofi, why he feels that the bill must be considered as an urgent bill in terms of Rule 193. It's up to the House to deal with matters that are brought before it. That is all that I was saying. I was not saying that when a minister moves that the bill be considered it is approved by order of the presiding officer. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Now I see that there are honorable MPs that have requested the floor to speak. Yes. Now there is, the next is Honorable Hengari.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I stand on the strength of Rule 92.
Yes, President.
Yes, I know that one. But also just to demonstrate the abuse of Rule 193. If you go to Rule 193, Honorable Speaker, which speaks to urgent bills, it says a motion referred to in sub-Rule 1, which is an urgent bill, does not require notice, and the question must be put without amendment or debate, provided that the presiding member is satisfied that such a motion is not a misuse of these standing rules or infringes on the rights of the minority. Honorable Speaker, we just received some pieces of papers in front of us. But even when you go through this bill, Honorable Speaker, what it seeks to do, to amend, the Honorable Minister just said now, he's seeking to even repeal an existing law. So, Honorable Speaker, I don't think that this bill actually qualifies as an urgent bill. An urgent bill, there are conditions here in these rules. And it says that if it is an urgent bill, it must not require notice, one, and the question must be put without amendment or debate. So I want to understand on which grounds this motion, this particular bill, actually qualifies as an urgent bill. If it seeks to amend an existing law, which grounds have you used as the presiding officer of this House to qualify?
What is the question to me now?
No.
To the member?
Honorable Speaker, you see, this is the problem. The problem is that the Speaker brings motions here without notices, and then when we ask questions about those motions or proposals, we don't know who to ask. So I'm asking the chair.
Honorable member, I didn't bring any notice of any motion.
No, Speaker,
Honorable Kapofi brought an item. So I am giving you the floor to talk to the issue that was brought to the table by Honorable
Kapofi.
And in terms of the rules that you are citing, yes, questions may not be put to the presiding officer.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Honorable Speaker, I would like to postpone this debate that seeks to amend an existing law to March 2026.
13 March.
Okay, you
13 March.
Now, honorable
Thank you.
member. Yes, I see now that there are 3 other honorable members on the list asking for the floor, and I would like to call upon Honorable Lizazi.
Honorable Speaker, it's on the point of privilege that I'm standing, and I want to remind you yesterday when my neighbor Honorable Likando wanted to table a question for this week. You ruled that you cannot table a question to be answered this week. And then yesterday, when Honorable Kapofi tabled this bill, or it's an amendment, or it's a new bill, he really said the date that he wants it to be done today. He put the date for today. But then, unfortunately, all of us did not pick that. We left it that way, and now it's here before us that it's an urgent bill. The procedure now that is brought here, I don't see the agency of this bill because there's no drop of oil that is already in Namibia. The experts that gave us a stakeholder training, they told us that only after 10 years, that is when we are going to go commercial. After 10 years, that is what they said. It's not me. The experts themselves said only after 10 years. That is when you are going to sell a drop of oil in Namibia. Where is the agency of this?
that we leave the bill that is at a stage that we are supposed to finalize it and rush this. Unless if there are people with interests. You see, this legislative arm of government, the parliament, is an arm of government, also equal to the executive. Now what I'm seeing here is like the executive is precedent, is above the legislature. Whatever comes from the executive, we must push it because it's coming from the executive. This is an arm of government that should enact laws that are going to be used even in future. Now, if we just rush things because we want to satisfy the need of the executive, it's not right for the Namibian people. We need to study and to look at matters on merits. This is, you see, I remember the words of the late President Hage Geingob when he says, and we hope this oil is not a curse on Namibia. May his soul rest in peace. So we hope this law that you are pushing, that you give the power to one individual, is not going to be a case to this country. Yes. So we can't push for this. I concur with the postponement to next year March.
So, Honorable Izazi, there is no request from the executive for this bill to be just taken as is. The bill is tabled as an urgent bill, but it's brought to this House in line with the constitutional provision that this is the House of lawmaking. So the honorable members must just consider and express their views on the bill. We don't have to make all kinds of insinuations. We make our comments and we ask for the floor. I see there are 5 other members who are asking for the floor. The next is Honorable Mumbita, and he has the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Speaker, let me speak like a small boy from Orushanjarwaka Umbangere. Kozongombeza na ashara. Kovathuko vanangaro. Maybe I'll be understood properly.
Honorable member, can you translate?
Exactly. No, I didn't bring a translator. I'll bring next time around. I've listened to very plausible. I think there are very plausible arguments that have been advanced regarding this particular bill. However, there is one thing that we are, I think, missing. We have important bills on the order paper, and we have an urgent bill. So we need to weigh two things. Now, I think you need to weigh two things. There's importance and there's urgency. Now, what makes this bill an urgent bill more than others is simply because this bill calls for transformation. It's a question of transforming an existing instrument of government and ensure proper governance of the oil industry, of the petroleum industry. That's all that the bill is talking about. So therein lies the urgency. Governance and transformation. So for me, those two words make me believe that this is an urgent bill and need to be considered as urgent. Not only important, but also urgent. I thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Karonda.
Honorable Speaker, I just perhaps want your guidance. You've not made a determination on the issue that we had raised earlier, Rule 1193. I don't want to be railroaded into the debate. I want to comfortably get into it. But before we do that, can we have a determination on the provision of Rule 1193, please?
Yes, thank you. Okay, let me hear what the other MPs would want to say. There are 3 on the list. Honorable Hangula.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Kapofi. It's a very important bill that you bring here. The use of our natural resources should really attract a microscope, and we should always be looking at it with a telescope if we need to. However, this bill, having brought to us in a very sort of like a surprise, Honorable Speaker, forgive me, but I'll have to say bulldoze. Also, as Honorable Kandorodo has said earlier, it's something that needs proper study because it includes a transfer of powers from one person to another. Are they being transferred just like that, or is there a change in the transfer of these powers? Which powers are they? It's something that we need time to study and consider as a nation, because this is a vital resource that breaks or makes nations. We've seen this, history has taught us that. So it talks about functions, powers, and duties. It talks about establishing a certain institution. All of these things are things that need considering, and it's not something that we can just do in 2 or 3 minutes. It's something that really needs all the minds of all the parliamentarians and all the functions of this government. So our oil has been in the ground for millions and millions of years, and it's not going anywhere. So there is no need for us to be bulldozed into making amendments, even though there's a pre-existing act, Honorable Speaker. We need to carefully consider what amendments we are doing to that, because this is a resource that has a potential to create criminals. It has a potential to create superheroes out of how it is applied. So, Speaker, I beg that we reconsider the proposal by the Right Honourable Minister to treat this as an urgent bill, and then let it go through the normal process of how bills are tabled in this House. I so submit.
Yes, thank you, Honourable Tushavi. I would want us to reach a conclusion on that so that we can deal with the request that is made. You see, because like Honourable Hengari said, the bill has not been tabled. We have not said any objection. We have not reached that point. We are still reacting to what the Honourable... No, please, Honourable Member, don't speak from the seated floor. I give you the floor 3 times. So I want us to get to that point based on the additional views that are coming. If the views that are coming are that no, the bill cannot be considered in this manner, then the Honourable Member should react. If he agrees, then we see how we deal with that. We cannot just go indefinitely, coming a 3rd and a 4th time on the issue. You're the Honourable Member, the presiding officer has to make a determination. But I want to hear what every person has to say, but I cannot just go to the same person 3 and 4 times. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So I have given Honourable Hengari. Now there is only one person, Honourable Tushavi, and then Honourable Hengombe. And let's try to reach a conclusion on that matter.
Well, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I stand to be guided. Camera. But also at the same time, I am compelled by the spirit of the urgency of service delivery to the Namibian people. Camera. And it is against this background that I would like to postpone this bill, of course, with the pronouncement that will come from the Honourable Speaker, to the 3rd of February 2026. I thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now we would first have to decide on whether the bill should be tabled. We need to get to that point. So we will park that, and the last person would be now Honourable Hengombe.
Honourable Speaker, on a point of privilege, thank you once more for your guidance that you are giving to the House. My question is, which rule compels the minister at this particular point of time? Because I've looked in the Namibian constitution, but I haven't seen anything that allows the minister to give his powers and duties, over to the president. Is there something like that? Maybe I would seek for your guidance on that, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable members, in order that we can make progress with the order paper of the day, I would like to say there were two questions. The first question was whether this bill is an urgent bill and whether the correct procedures have been followed in presenting it as an urgent bill. Then there was the issue of interpretation of 119, Rule 119, and now there is a query about sub 3. I think that Rule 119 applies in as far as it relates to sub 1. Because sub 3 that is being quoted has no relevance in regard to the organization of the order paper vis-a-vis point of privilege. So I think we have spoken to Rule 119 to say that the applicable rule there is sub 1 that gives the power to the secretary in consultation with the presiding officer. I think we can get past that. The main issue is, can we consider this as an urgent bill and do justice to it? Can honorable members? So what I have heard from the members that have spoken is to say it may be an important bill, but it may not be possible for us to consider it as an urgent bill without maybe generating some unintended consequences. Now, and there, you see, Honorable Kapofi, is that something, would you like to say something on that before we proceed on whether I can now make a determination and say table the bill or no, it cannot be tabled as an urgent bill? Honorable Kapofi, on that point.
Welcome, Mr. Speaker. As I said, to me it is important because this is an administrative instrument that we need to put in place to spearhead the processes that we have set in motion. It can only be done effectively with this law. Should it be the feeling of the House but before I get to that, Speaker, I don't think that we should assume that we are the only custodians more than others. There is no such a thing as I care more than the other. That's not really the issue. There is no way that we will come here just simply to do things that are not necessary. So I thought there is goodwill and there should be an understanding. If that understanding is not there, we could explain. And we can explain, but as I said, this is an instrument that necessarily is required to put in place to effectively allow the president of the country to carry that mandate she is given by the people of this country. And she has taken that decision to make sure that this instrument, this structure that she has put in place are implemented. So, however, I do not want anyone to interpret this to mean that we want to bulldoze anything. We were appealing to the conscience of all of you to see the need of this. But if you all believe that we there is no agency. As I said, this agency came about because of the changes that were introduced, constitutionally introduced by the President. As such, in order for this to be given the force of law, we brought this instrument to you. But if you feel there is no need for your President to be given this power, then I don't know. But for me, it remains agent, but I don't want I want us to follow all the rules and the requirements as provided for by the law. Well, I'm not answering to you. I don't have to speak to you.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Kapofi. Yeah, I think what is coming through, what is coming through is that there are concerns about the bill being considered as an agent bill. Obviously, the argument of Honorable Kapofi that it's an important bill can also not be discounted. You know, this is a very important bill. We are caught in a catch-22 situation because you now have a sector that is one of the most important sectors in our economy. There have been adjustments, as I have indicated, and in a democracy, it is important that you have certainty, and certainty is provided for under the law. And when you have an arrangement on the ground saying something and the law saying another thing, it creates uncertainties that can generate problems. And that's probably what has brought Honorable Kapofi to bring the bill that he has brought. But now, given the views that are coming through from the House, I believe that Honorable Kapofi has indicated he can accept that, provided we agree this is important, and at the earliest opportunity, we should deal with it with the priority and agency that it requires. So, considering that, the presiding officer, based on the consensus that is coming through the House, the presiding officer would not make a determination for the bill to be tabled as an agent bill, but that we leave it to be on the agenda and we deal with it when we come to that item after the recess. Is that the agreement? Agreed? Very good. Now the Secretary will read the first order of the day. Now the Honourable Member is very much out of order.
Mental Health Bill.
Okay, does the Honourable Minister of Health and Social Services move that the Assembly now goes into committee?
Yes, I so move, Your Honourable Speaker.
Any objections? Who seconds? Agreed to. I will now call upon the Deputy Chairperson of the whole House Committee to take the chair.
Okay, let's go.
No.
The whole House Committee is called to order. the whole House committee has to consider the mental health bill. When progress was reported yesterday, 11th of November 2025, arrangements of sections were put and agreed to. Clauses 1 to 11 were put and agreed to. Clause 12 was amended by the Minister and was put and agreed to. Clause 13 to 15 were put and agreed to. I now put clause 16. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any objection?
Agreed to.
Agreed to. I now put clause 17. Any objection? Any discussion first? At 17. Yes, Honorable Engari.
After a bit of research, I realized that this section 17, which speaks to right to representation, is actually a copy of the exact, all the words are the same as a provision in the United Kingdom Mental Health Act of 1983. I wanted to find out whether the way that it looks now, this provision, is there no way to make it suitable to our own cases? It really doesn't make sense. I hope that we can go through it together.
Thank you, Honorable Engari. Honorable Minister.
House Committee, perhaps if I can ask the Honourable Member, in which way would it be made more suitable for our context? If we can be a bit specific, then we can address that. Thank you.
Honorable Engari.
What we can do is, because I don't like reading these things separately, we can go forward and I'll just demonstrate later on how this is actually a contradiction to another section of this bill. Thank you.
Do you say that we agree to clause 17?
Because there's another section that speaks to it, and we're not there yet.
So there is an objection. There is no objection.
I'm not objecting. Let's go forward, please. Let's make
no
progress.
Objection?
No, it's fine.
Agreed to. We move to clause 18. Any discussion? Any objection? Agreed to. Clause 19. Any discussion? Any objection? Agreed to. We move to clause 20. Any discussion?
Yes.
Honorable Engari?
Yes, thank you very much, Deputy Chairperson. This clause speaks to determinations concerning mental health status. I just want to read what it actually speaks to. Section 20, subsection 1 says, any determination concerning the mental health status of a patient must be made by a psychiatrist based on factors exclusively, and then you go to D, the intelligence level of the patient. My question here is, how will you determine someone's intelligence level? And whether this is actually a necessary condition for the assessment of one's mental health status?
Honorable Minister. Can you repeat again, Honorable Engari?
Section 20, subsection 1H, speaks to any determination concerning the mental health status of a patient must be made by a psychiatrist exclusively.
1E.
Then it goes on to
20. 11. 3H. 3D.
The intelligence level of the patient. I want to understand how someone's mental status can be measured by. Let me just make it simple. I will not read one. Section 20, subsection 3, a determination concerning the mental health status of a patient for the purposes set out in subsection 1, which I've already read, must be set out in a medical report containing the following particulars. 1, a review of the medical and psychiatric history of the patient. clinic findings during the time of observation. For purposes of subsection 1, B, a summary of the relevant facts and circumstances of the offense is supplied by the court in question, but D says the intelligence level of the patient. Is there no way we can actually delete that? Because I don't think there is a way where we can determine someone's intelligence level, and how is that relevant to someone's mental health status?
Thank you, Honorable Ngari. Honorable Minister.
So when we deal with, particularly in the case of mental health conditions, there are particular scores that we can use. Number one, there's the VIA IQ test that is used by psychiatrists as well as psychologists. There are others such as the Wech-Lessler Adult Intelligence Scale, Wech-Lessler Intelligence Scale for children, Stanford-Binet Intelligence Scales, as well as for areas of cognitive functions, particularly in total where a score is obtained: verbal comprehension, perceptual reasoning, working memory, as well as processing speed and others. But in particular, as I've now alluded to, the VIA IQ test in particular. Thank you.
Any further discussion? No, I've noticed you. I want Honorable Ngari whether she... Okay, Honorable.
Well, Honorable Deputy, you see the issue I have with the, and I concur with Honorable Ngari here, the issue I have with the reply from the Honorable Minister is, have any of these instruments that she's talking about been, because we are talking about a piece of legislation, and if you are going to use any instruments, they have to also, and it's my understanding that they also have to be adapted for use in our country. Other countries use, like the United States, for instance, they use the SAT or the IQ, to determine. It's a government-approved, state-sanctioned instrument to measure somebody's intellectual level. And now we are putting a clause in our act, in our legislature, and then we are going to use any random test instruments. For instance, people use BMI. It's a standard way of measuring somebody's body to fat ratio, but it's not something that, according to my knowledge, has been adopted legally in the House of Law. So are we going to say we're going to sort of subject our people to instruments, random instruments, in using our legislature that we haven't approved? So are there any that are state government approved instruments that can actually support why we should keep this 3D in our legislation? Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Deputy Chair of the Whole House Committee, allow me to answer this question so that it clarifies quite a few. With certain domains in healthcare, there are certain practices that are practiced. For example, with psychiatry, there's a standard mental status examination that is used. Within the mental status examination, there are ways that the psychiatrist or the medical officer uses in order to identify where the patient is. It is not something that must be approved, particularly to say it must be passed by a certain country. These are standardized scores. For example, when you have a mental status examination, there are ways in which you test to see if this person's memory is intact. In the cases of things like dementia and all, there are things that you use. Okay. Honorable, I don't believe you have the floor, so if you'd allow me to get there, because I don't want us to base discussions on the House based on misinformation. It's very important. Scientifically speaking, that question is not justified. The VIA IQ score, allow me to highlight, a qualified psychologist chooses an appropriate IQ test based on the person's age, language, purpose of evaluation, and then I highlighted examples that might then be taken to suit the person. These scores are there for a reason, in order to make sure that it is appropriate for the person being tested. It is a scientific test. It is not made up per country. It is a scientific test. And when you pick one, a psychologist or psychiatrist picks one based on the patient. Otherwise, then we'll start having debates about whether the mental status examination is actually utilized to test a person's mental status. Thank you.
Honorable Ngari.
The Honourable Minister must not grow frustrated. We are just also trying to understand. We're not against the bill, actually.
Can you...
Section, yes. I want to take you back quickly just to section 20, that section 1, subsection 1. Any determination concerning the mental health status of a patient must be made by a psychiatrist based on factors exclusively. Is it appropriate to use must in an act like this? Especially given, I'm sure we don't have enough psychiatrists in this country. Is it appropriate to use must? Because it's not the only point. At every other point, can we not use may for purposes of legislation?
Honourable Minister.
It's not frustration at all. We're very happy to answer the questions, but questions must be in line with what is scientifically proven. Now, with that said, the question is a very good one, and during the first conversations we had about the bill, one of the things was asked is, are we going to manage to uphold everything that is written in this bill? And one of the key things that I mentioned, if you go towards the end of the bill, it says that it comes into force on a date so prescribed by the minister. Now, we did that very intentionally. So if you look at the item and you say that, no, but we don't have enough psychiatrists, then you can also look at it in terms of facilities and say, but then ultimately we can't meet anything that's stated in this bill or a lot of it. So ideally what we're saying is that this is a gold standard of where we want to be. According to standards, there is a certain number of patients per psychiatrist that we as a country want to get to. And so it is important to have a bill that speaks to where we're trying to get to. And that is important. And that was what also was identified when we answered the questions to start with. Thank you, Honourable Member.
Honourable Angula.
Thank you. Look, there's nothing malicious going on here. From when we talk about subsection 3, we're talking about determining the mental health status of a patient. Yeah? There is no problem determining that mental health status based on the review and the psychiatric history of the patient. There's nothing wrong with that. Because that's something that she went to school for, she studied it, she understands it, we understand that, all right? The person's medical and psychiatric condition can be tested, all right? Mine and somebody else's can differ and we will see it. It's simple, all right? Then we go on to the clinical findings. These are things that are also done. We move on, even we can skip D, we go all the way. Nothing is wrong with that. But how do we measure intelligence? Okay, I may be 26 years old, my daughter may be 7 years old. How do you measure the intelligence between us as human beings? And this is what we are talking about, that you must determine this person's mental health status based on certain criteria, of which one of them is intelligence. Now the concern is, how do you measure somebody's intelligence? We can sit 40 of us, 35 of us in the class. How do we determine the level of our intelligence in order for you to make a determination of the person's mental health status? If we can bring us a scientific, acceptable instrument that measures human intelligence, that is the point of the bone of contention here. Measure the intelligence. Tell us, maybe my intelligence can fall or it can improve. How does it work? Because if I'm sick and I go to a doctor, the doctor can measure the level of my health by measuring certain criteria in intelligence. So it's not really outrageous that there was a call to remove this clause, just so that we do away with the ambiguity, that word that it brings. That's all that is here, Honorable Minister of Health. Just tell me how you measure somebody. How do you measure your intelligence vis-a-vis mine and vis-a-vis the honorable next to me? Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Minister, do we take it member by member or do we take them all for the answer? How do you prefer it? Yeah. Yeah. So, Honorable Lucato?
Thank you very much, Deputy Chairperson of the whole House. Yeah, thank you for the platform. I just want to ask the Honorable Minister, you know, before the independence of this country, Namibian people, they've been referred their patients in the foreign country like South Africa. So now, currently now, according to the law in place.
Honorable members, can we listen to Honorable Lucato, please?
So,
what is Honorable Lucato saying? That's why I have to concentrate. But now I cannot concentrate. I have to constantly look at this side. Honorable Lucato, yes?
Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, my question to you, Honorable Minister, I want to know currently now, in the bill.
Clause what, Honorable Lucato?
Yeah, regarding the
Honorable Lucato.
Yes.
Where are you? On which clause are you?
Okay, the mental.
Mental?
Yes.
Clause what? Clause what? Now we are specific. Hello? Now we are specific. We are at committee stage. We go clause by clause by clause. Yes, Honorable Lucato, clause what?
Okay. Okay. Clause, we are at the clause.
Clause, where are we, Honorable Lucato? Where are you? On which clause are you?
You can just silence there, please. Hey.
No, Honorable Lucato. Honorable Lucato, let me silence them on your behalf.
Yeah.
Don't silence them like that. Let me silence them on your behalf. But after I silence them, tell me on which clause you are. Honorable members, can we please attend?
Clause 20.
Clause 20 where?
Yeah.
Clause 20?
Yeah.
But sub-clause what?
Yes.
Sub-clause?
Clause 20 is sub 1.
What does it say, Honorable?
What are you laughing?
I wonder. No,
Yes,
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. You are confusing us. Clause 20, subsection 1.
Can you silence, please? Can you silence? I'm talking to the minister, not to you all. Yes, yes.
No. Withdraw, Honorable. Withdraw, Honorable.
I raised here with a simple question.
Yes.
A simple question.
Yes.
My simple question is that according to that clause,
Honorable April, wait for the mic to give you a signal to speak. Yes.
Madam Deputy Chairperson of the Whole House Committee, I have noticed since yesterday and also observed that we are allowing some tendencies that's going to become problematic in this House to really try to keep to what is okay for this House. It is since yesterday that we are being shouted down by a senior member in the ranking of age and being treated like we are nobodies. I just want to caution so that we do not retaliate the same tendencies
Who
and
is
therefore
that?
create chaos.
No, 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 no.
Privilege,
Honorable
privilege.
Lisasi. Honorable Lisasi, it was not good.
Lisasi, privilege 92. 92, you know. So I'm just cautioning us and calling us back to behave and conduct at all times parliamentary according to the decorum that is informed by the modicums of the existence of this house.
And they must be
Thank
present.
you.
That guy is out
Thank
of
you
order.
very much.
Must be present. There is no.
And I would want to caution all of us to behave orderly. All of us. Honorable Lucato, close what?
Clause 20. You are going to have a problem now.
No, Honorable.
Because if you are provoking me,
to the presiding officer,
I'm going to
Honorable.
send you out now. Yes, I'm going to send you out. Don't
Honorable
play with
Lucato.
me.
Honorable Lucato. Honorable Lucato.
You young boys and
You young boys.
Yeah.
Which young boys?
I'm going to send you out. Definitely.
Asa, please.
I'm going to send you out from this house.
Now you,
I'm going-
Honorable Lucato.
Yes.
Honorable Lucato.
Yes.
You must talk to the presiding officer. And all those things you do must be given to the
Okay.
presiding officer to talk to them.
Okay.
Let's not insult each other.
Okay, just stop them.
No, but there is no young boy there, and there are no young boys here. We all are members of parliament. Kindly withdraw.
Okay, stop them.
Because you also said Jesus.
Stop
And
them.
that's not good. Honorable Lucato, we are looking up to you. You are a senior member in age of this house, even in politics. Honorable Lucato, can you also please, can you please But that's what I've addressed, Honorable Chair. That's what I've addressed. And we must behave orderly, all of us. No, Honorable April. No, Honorable April. No, that's unparliamentary. No, that's unparliamentary. No. I've addressed it, and Honorable Lucato apologized. Honorable Lucato have apologized. Now you are retaliating. That's not good. We are left. Honorable Lucato, can you sit down? Can you sit down?
Okay.
Can you sit down a bit?
Sorry?
Can you sit down a bit?
Yeah, I can finish now.
Yes, but
Yeah.
sit a bit down.
Okay.
I want to say something.
Okay.
Can you wait for me?
Yeah,
I will call you
say
again.
quick.
A bit.
Yeah,
Can you wait for me a bit? Yes, thank you, Honorable. We are left with 5 minutes. If we do not behave orderly, I will adjourn and then call the speaker and report progress. That's maybe what we want. That's maybe what we want. And I do not know what will happen to all these members that we are worried about that are in the institutions. Honorable Lucando. No, Honorable April. I addressed Honorable Lucato based on what he said, Jesus, and based on what he said, small boys. And he apologized. Honorable Lucando. Honorable members, due to time for adjournment, I shall report progress and ask leave to sit again. As ons met nog by 20 net.
Ja, het gaan beginnen met 20.
21 more.
Nou, het gaan beginnen met 20. Dus dat is het.
Yes. Now, that we have not gone through the bill. We are not done so that we can proceed to the next stage of the bill. We have a few minutes before it is knock-off time, and we have a second order of the day. We can either, what we can do is we can go to the next item and we can get a member that would start the process or postpone. And the next item is the Secretary will read the second order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading, Public Enterprises Governance Amendment Bill.
Okay, when this assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025, the question before the assembly was a motion by the Right Honorable Prime Minister that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Shifeta adjourned the debate and he now has the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I think I'm not sure whether I will be able to complete my speech in 4 minutes. Honorable Speaker, can you call my colleagues here to order? It's becoming a habit now. The main objective of this amendment is mainly to transfer powers and functions from the principal bill. It is the minister responsible for public enterprises to the Prime Minister, and also from the minister responsible for finance to the relevant minister. That is okay, that's fine. But I did not have time to discuss with the Prime Minister because I wanted to engage the Prime Minister on very crucial issues that provided for in this amendment. The issue now, Prime Minister, here is that
Order, Bishop.
Can I be protected?
Yes, you are protected, Honorable.
Yes, the issue here, Honorable Speaker, is that you are talking about various sectors. And as I know, the Prime Minister's office does not have the capacity. They don't have experts. And I don't know how it will be done. Probably it's a wisdom. But as we say, the taste of the pudding is in eating. But the way I look at it, and from an experience point of view, it will be uphill journey. Because expertise is found, or experts are found at various ministries, relevant ministries. Now policies are made from there, and that will also be a challenge. And I just wanted that to be attended to. The other one is the question of Speaker. The relevant minister, and that is in Section 20 of the Principal Act. If you look at it that close in the amendment, it is unprocedural for the minister to request the management to provide information for an entity, while there's a director, board of directors. That is unprocedural. And even in the Principal Act, I have made my opinion on that, that you cannot, as a minister, overlook the board that you have appointed. It's humiliating the board. And some of certain information for a commercial entity is confidential and it can only be authorized by the board. But here it says the minister can overlook the board and they get information or document from the management. That is the chair. I mean, it's supposed to be the chair. It's a line of command. It's the chair of the board. Through the chair of the board, the chair can ask information from the board, I mean from the management. Okay. And that is the, I think...
Honorable Member, you can continue tomorrow. Now we have to rise on automatic adjournment. Yeah, and then when we continue with the item, you will be the first on the floor to...
Yes, please, the House.
So the House will now rise on automatic adjournment. Huh? Huh? Yeah, no. Tomorrow, questions take precedence. Mara, we cannot say in advance. Maybe we are going to answer all of them. That's yes. Let's agree. Questions take precedence. Yeah. Honorable members, before we rise, can we briefly, please, one person. Yes, please. Let's take our seats. Briefly.
Very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Considering that tomorrow is question day, on Tuesday, Honorable Speaker informed this House that you're going to mobilize the executive.
No, I cannot mobilize. It's not my responsibility.
Through the chief whip. Through the chief whip. Listen to him. Through the chief whip. Listen, mobilize.
Honorable members, okay, you may take your seat. Let me respond to that. Let me respond to that point. Yes, honorable. Okay, honorable member. Honorable members, can you now take your seat, honorable member? It's very good that you are making that point, because I have been calling for chief whips to assist the presiding officer and the leader of government business in order to ensure, one, full attendance of our members, of the meetings of the assembly, two, ensuring that they are compliant with the rules, which function often is not carried out to expectation by chief whips. But I just would like to emphasize that the chief whips have the responsibility to assist the presiding officer and the leader of government business in the House to ensure that we have full attendance tomorrow. We are fully compliant with the rules, and we ensure that the proceedings go as per plan. Yeah, not only when there are questions to be answered, always. So, Chief Whips, please, you cannot express solidarity with your members when they are violating the rules. Yeah? So, we rise on automatic adjournment until tomorrow.